This Pac-12 preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the College Football Experience. Get ready for the college football season by checking out all 131 college football team previews. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFB. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFB.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Woo! Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Hey y'all, just here talking a little college football.
Kramer's here. He's got his Cabo glow about him.
We're not in the South. We're talking college football out west. Wasn't it canceled?
Joining us.
Oh, that was 2 years ago. I'm sorry.
Talk college football. The host of the College Football Experience, Colby Dant, aka the Dantabase.
Been a while, guys, since Glanville, huh?
Yeah,
been a while. It's football
Keeping you
season.
in the closet, bro. You got previews to record.
Back when Glanville was promoting a football league, that's no longer around.
Well,
It's been
Sean,
so long.
they are planning on a full 2023 season in MLFB. So,
before that, I mean, look, we got week 0 this week,
Oh
but
my goodness.
Thursday we got some D2 college football. Reinhardt and Faulkner, Georgetown and Kentucky Christian. Sign me up, Sean.
Let's go.
Reinhardt and Faulkner seems like two sci-fi authors duking it out. I don't know.
YouTube chat is alive and well. Colby is my dad 420. Gentleman, father, hello. Noah B from the MLB Gambling Podcast. Throwing out the siren emojis when you get that SGP CFB notification. And yes, we got an ACC preview coming up. We also have a special Virginia Tech only episode and a week 0 college football picks episode, because college football kicks off this Saturday, all happening this week. And of course, the aforementioned Pac-12 preview, which you're listening to right now. While you're listening, make sure you head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. Get going there. Head over there. Even if you're not in, they're Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. You guys don't love college football? What are you waiting for? Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. Even if you're not one of those states, go there so the Wynn knows we're awesome, because we know you're awesome. You're a listener to the Sports Gambling Podcast. Bet $100, get a $100 risk-free bet, 100% deposit bonus on the WynnBET Casino. Yes, please. Let's go.
#Legends only.
And of course, they got so much NFL action as well. Win totals. We just did 32 NFL team previews. They just dropped the first quarterback with 5 touchdowns. So much action. Head over there today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBET.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
You can put it on the board. Yes.
Yes. And NFL Survivor Contest, courtesy of Run Your Pool. Again, Run Your Pool, the home of competition. You're going to be battling it out
With Colby?
with Colby. Is Colby in the NFL Survivor Pool?
I'll be there by the time week 1 shows up. I'll be there.
Jets week 1 pick, right?
To lose. Yes.
Just pick against the Jets every week. Well, when you're,
So I'm alive to week 2.
Go Ravens, week 1. So if you haven't signed up for the Run Your Pool already, you got to get in there. And again, you're going to be competing against SGPN personalities, SGPN hosts, fellow SGPN listeners for a chance to win $500 cash and a $250 gift certificate to the SGPN store. That's right. All you got to do is sign up over at play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. That's play.runyourpool.com/SGPN.
So easy, even Patty C can do it.
Yes. Is Patty C going to be in the NFL Survivor contest?
I think he might.
With
I
Run
think
Your
he
Pool.
might.
He is a survivor.
He's there. Yeah.
He is the survivor. All right.
Let's go.
I'm excited to talk college football. We've been talking NFL for a long time. Now we talk about the kids who fuck up all the time. Like it's harder to throw shade at the kids though. I'm maybe not as many unders, Sean.
Oh yeah,
thinking about this.
Ryan set a world record for.
What do you mean? It wasn't a world record, but I have the numbers in front of me.
I think someone even DM'd me like that guy.
14 overs, 18 under. So it's not that crazy.
I think
Relax,
I
everyone.
think at some point I had a fan talking to me on Twitter, and he was saying, "Dude, I can't fuck with Kramer because he's doing under on everything. It's impossible that happens."
I have the
It's good for under for everything is good for player props.
I have the NFL going 30 games under 500 as a league. Figure that out, nerds.
It's a great pick you're running. Ryan, I notice you're wearing a college football shirt, but it's not an officially licensed SGPN shirt. I am rocking my campus collection T-shirt.
Nice job.
From the college football experience. Got some sweet Penn State colors on. Again, bunch of teams in there. And shout out to Jake, who's in the YouTube chat. He did a great job getting those shirts. So check those out as well. All right.
And real quick, apologies to the Research Flat Earth Society. I was in Cabo. My bad.
Yes.
I much like Tom Brady, I took some unplanned personal time.
Ryan was also on the Masked Singer.
Last minute trip to hang out with the kids before school started. I was on the Masked Singer. Tune in this fall.
Did you throw your fantasy football trophy at your wife?
Oh my goodness. Never. I would never throw a trophy. Trophies are for mantles, Colby.
All right. Ready?
I mean, knock
it out, Ryan.
I'm way more ready for the Pac-12 than I've ever been.
Start at the bottom, work our way up.
Can we
Always.
talk about like this? This is, I think, between ACC, Big 12, and Pac-12 are the ones we kind of don't know what's going to happen, but especially in the Pac-12. I would say it's the most open it's been in a long time.
So yeah, starting from the
Can
bottom.
we get a team in the Pac-12?
Yes.
San Diego, our gals. That's what we need. Yeah.
No, I think
What's
wait, I think Sean was about to say, can we get a team from the Pac-12 into the playoff?
No, I was talking about us
starting DGen University,
starting SGPN Tech, and running some scam school because most of these, I mean, you're going for the education.
Florida Gulf Coast.
You know what I mean?
As long as we have no religious affiliation.
No, what we're gonna do? We're gonna open a podcasting school, and the podcasting school is you
guys. Let's
coming
not
to
talk about this in public.
coming to watch God's Eye. You pay us like, I don't know, you get like one of those college loans. We'll create some degree scam, and then we'll field a football team.
I cannot wait to watch not only that, but the trickle down effect of this realignment, because it's kind of like a standoff here. You have the Big 12 that looks like it's in the more consistent spot, but believe it or not, the Pac-12, even without UCLA and USC, much better television ratings than any of the remaining Big 12 schools.
And the gambling money.
It's going to be really interesting.
The gambling money in California is maybe what tips everything. Although that's the Big 10 now, right?
Noah says Tijuana Tech. I like it. I like it.
I mean, we can do better than that.
Some NIL drug money sounds amazing.
We just take over Occidental.
Oh yeah, they're not using their field.
Hey, Jim Morris Sr. used to coach at Occidental.
Occidental. Hey? I mean, there's going to be like 17 vacancies soon, so like Occidental is just going to join the Pac-12. Shout out Eagle Rock. All right, bottom to the top. Yeah, my biggest overtone here. The Pac-12 no longer an offense only league.
Oh,
Arizona.
Yeah.
The number is comically 3 -105 both ways. Shout out to the Wynn for doing that again. You don't see this many. A lot of places, Sean, -115 both ways. Not often. I milk the tit of WynnBET, but -105 each way gets me going. 3 is the number here. 250 to 1 to win it all. When you look at the schedule, it already is a tough one for me because they catch an SEC team at home and they catch our gals on the road.
Their schedule's insane.
Not to mention the other non-conference is North Dakota State, who is, as we know, fucking good.
6-0 in their last 6 games against the FBS.
So, I mean, we could be talking about an Arizona team that's not even going to get a win out of conference. So now where are they getting the wins in conference? How is this number 3, Colby? This was all right. I would say the most certain I was looking at the board as soon as I did any sort of research on Arizona. Boom,
they probably
snap under.
They probably should have been 0-12 last year because they had one win and it was against Cal, who had none of their players, and they only won 10-3.
Tell me why I'm wrong, Colby.
They were. I'll say this about
at Utah.
Their schedule is pretty tough.
At Washington.
No, I mean that's what stands out when you go through this. You see Arizona and Colorado, and you say, "What are you doing to yourselves?" Even Oregon State,
Stanford.
Stanford does it every single year. Colorado too, I feel like, but I'll tell you this, man. He had the best recruiting class since they've been charting recruiting in Arizona history.
Oh,
and he brought in Jaden DeLaura, who was a fucking beast. The quarterback from Wazoo that was nasty as a freshman.
Yep.
He is now at Arizona. And they also brought in Jacob Cowing, a wide receiver from UTEP that was really good.
So you like their transfer portal utilization?
Oh, they definitely won the transfer portal, but that schedule is brutal. I still, for some reason, am gonna go over.
Only minus 27 yards per game in Pac-12 play. Defense is bringing back 8 starters, and it's kind of, you look at points per game, maybe not as bad as their 1-11 record would show.
Okay, so maybe you guys didn't hear me. At San Diego State,
well, let's walk through the whole
Mississippi
schedule.
State at home, North Dakota State at home, at Cal, Colorado at home, win. Oregon,
they lost 34-0 to Colorado last year.
Oregon at Washington, bye week. USC later in the season, definitely going to be better than earlier in the season. At Utah, at UCLA, a team I'm very high on. Shout out to my Bruins. Washington State win. Arizona State win. You need all 3 of those.
Well, hear me out here.
They're not getting any other wins. Colby.
Look, well, week 1 at the Snapper as they open up that stadium in San Diego.
State gonna fuck them up.
They might be.
Brady Hoke, no headset.
How about
Let's
this?
go.
How about, do I gotta mention that the SEC is 5-17 in their last 22 since the year 2000, playing at teams on the West Coast? I know he's our boy Leach, but Arizona might be better offensively.
Where's my cowbell, Sean?
They could beat Colorado. There's a strong chance Herm Edwards is fired before that November 25th game.
I agree with you. I think if you're circling games, you're circling Colorado, they're going to need to win the last 2. In my model, they're going to have the pressure of needing to win the last 2. I understand you like the coach. And isn't this?
No, it's not. I don't know enough about the coach, but I like what he brought in.
Sean McVay. Is that enough?
He coached with Harbaugh too, I think, right? Like he's got some ties.
He's got a who's
Brian
who.
Billick.
He coached in '98. He was coaching the New Jersey Red Dogs. So Colby likes
shout out that
he is a Jersey.
When's the last time you had a Red Dog?
He is a Jersey legend, hailing from Livingston, New Jersey. Look, 1-11 last year. You're happy with him. You think he's going to do better. You think he's in the right direction.
I think this team is more talented. I worry about the defensive side of the ball. I think they might be awful on defense. But that offense,
how do they get to 4 though?
Well, look, I can build the case. If they get San Diego State, which I think San Diego State offensively challenged, they might be able to win that game, right?
No,
they might be able to.
Well, it's just what you're describing is like the perfect scenario. The perfect scenario feels like they get them to 4-8, right?
Yeah. I mean, San Diego State, maybe North Dakota State, maybe Colorado. Maybe it Wazoo and Arizona State to end the season.
They could win.
So that's only 5 maybes though. That's what I'm saying. Like they have to go 4-1.
Their ceiling is 4.
I just think this offense will be better than people realize. I think DeLaura is a really, really good quarterback, and I think.
Well, and I think maybe that's where their value is betting them because they're gonna be massive dogs. Maybe not taking the over on the win total, but looking to play them with the points.
I like that better than you're right. You're right because. It's hard when you look at that schedule. They're doing them no favors. If I'm Jed Fish, like you want me to bring the program back from the dead. Stop it with this. Stop it with. I mean, every game is. What will they be favored in?
That's a great way to look at it.
They're not favored at San Diego State. I'm hearing North Dakota State is going to be favored.
No, I mean if you're not favored against North Dakota State, you're not favored. You're probably not favored against Colorado.
I would say
you're definitely not favored against Oregon, Cal,
Look ahead line. I don't think they're favored in any of these games.
Maybe Arizona State. It's in Tucson.
Even
might not be there.
I would even argue that like I'm into Washington State. Like outside of our love of the great city of Pullman, I like this. I like them more as kind of a bottom dweller who could take a step forward than this Arizona team. I think you're crazy. I think you like this coach for some reason.
No,
and you haven't figured it out.
I don't. I just think the offense will move better than it's moved in a long time.
I think
when you do that,
but I think you need to be able to play defense now in the modern Pac-12.
I'm not taking them to go bowling at all.
Pack is back, baby. Hashtag it.
They're not going to come near bowl. Sean, we're on the under together, right?
Yeah, I'm going under. I want to be with Colby and Zag on this Arizona team, but 4 feels like the ceiling.
And you have maybe he can get a late bounce, like you said, but the scenario probably works out where they have to win the last 2 games, and that just seems like
a winning streak is a lot for this team.
I'll just say though, they will have like one of the better I think he's one of the better quarterbacks.
But I think you nailed it, Colby. Their defense is going to be shit. I mean, there's a very real possibility they have the worst defense in the league, and I think that sets them up to be very easily the worst team in the league. All right, Colorado +1. Wow.
So Colby's officially on the over.
He's over.
Yeah.
Colorado is at 3.5. They're fucking around with the juice, but at least it's not an even number. +170 to the over, -190 to the under. They still go by the Buffaloes, even though they only have Bison in Colorado. 250 to 1 to win the national. Arizona's 250 to 1 was to win the conference.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Colorado also 250 to 1 to win the conference. I'll let Colby go first because I know he's a Buffs fan. Near and dear to the heart.
Lock up the under.
Talk to me.
Wow, you only think they're going to get 3 wins?
I don't. And they play 11 Power Fives, one of only 2 schools in the nation to do that. And their 12th game is on the road at a 10-win team that brings back everybody. This is a completely dumb schedule.
Again, pause for a second because it's worth noting. They start with TCU. They then have a road game at Air Force.
They gave themselves back-to-back away out of conference,
and then they go at Minnesota, and then they have UCLA at home.
That's it. That maybe they can sneak that out.
Catch Chip sleep. I think this
Minnesota
UCLA team can be focused at Arizona again. I think that's a win.
I don't even think that is because.
Maybe you're right,
dude. Colorado got destroyed by the transfer portal. Absolutely, more than any team, maybe in all of college football.
So 1-4 into the bye at best.
I think their best chance of a win is probably the TCU opener because of the fact that they're going through a coaching change. But after that, I don't know, man.
Cal at home to me is winnable.
At Oregon State,
Arizona State's winnable.
No, that's not winnable.
Arizona
at
State at home.
That's homecoming.
I think this.
They went out and hired. I think one of the. I'm not a big fan of the offensive coordinator.
Oh no!
They brought in Mike Sanford. I thought it was a terrible hire by Colorado.
Why are you upset?
Colby's too close to the situation. Colby, you're not high on Brendan Lewis.
No, I'm actually hoping that JT Shroud starts.
This feels emotional.
Tennessee transfer. No, I mean this dude. They got all their talent is gone. They're starting running backs starting at Michigan State. They're starting wide receiver and starting corner is at USC. They're starting safeties at TCU.
So you're saying they got destroyed by the.
Yes, their other corner starts at Oregon. Like they took all of their best players. Their other starting wide receiver starts at Iowa State. So this team has not a lot of talent. Maybe I know Carl Durrell said he had a meeting and said if you want to leave, you leave, and then the whole team fucking left. But
all right,
you know
that's swaying me. I'm joining Colby on the under. When a coach says if you want to leave, and people actually leave,
dude, this is a lock. They're not winning 4 games. 3.5 is the number. Give me the 4 wins. No way.
So
I'm going over 3.5. Taking the +170. You guys forget how tough of a place Boulder is to play.
So what would this should be 3 almost.
Yeah, I mean,
this number should be 3.
I would set it at like 2.5.
Oh wow,
dude! They draw. They look who they get from the north. They get Oregon. They get Washington. They get Oregon State. The top 3 favorites in the north.
Coming off the bye, Cal at Oregon State, Arizona State, Oregon at USC again later in the season. At Washington, back-to-back road spot, not easy, and then you catch Utah at home. They might not win. I mean, they better beat Arizona State. Or they're not going to have a dub. Maybe they won't take Cal.
I don't think so. Cal got Jack Plummer from defense. Purdue. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think so.
All right. So I'm Colby got me. I'm in.
You're in on the under.
I'm in on the under. Stanford.
All right.
over +110, -125 in the under. 4.5 is that number. 90-1 to win the conference. They didn't get no 12 Power 5 schedule this year.
What?
So
oh yeah, they didn't last year they had 12, but they have 11 this year.
and who's the 12th? Colgate Raiders.
The Raiders, watch out.
Again, I'll say this though. We'll kick the schedule off because it's worth noting. They start early USC. I kind of that's a fun potential
upset. They give
upset.
USC fits actually, man.
But then bye week, really? September 17th. You need a bye week
to get a bye week when the rest of your schedule is Power 5. It's the dumbest bye week ever.
Why would you not? Have you ever heard of a dumber thing? Bye week 3.
Well, and like,
why do you have a bye week
with all Power 5 remaining? Normally, you schedule an FCS to get a bye week,
and then Sean, they come off the bye at Washington, at Oregon, then they get Oregon State at home. That's a winnable game. At Notre Dame, Arizona State at home. That's a winnable game. At UCLA,
how is this team getting a
Washington State?
No, they're not.
At Utah, they play a tremendous amount of tough road games.
Even at Cal's going to be up.
Sean, wait for it. Their third non-conference, BYU at the end of the year. Why?
They're crazy. They clearly do not give a fuck about football.
Smash.
For like 7 straight years, they've had unbelievable schedules.
How is this not
Tanner
lower?
McKee though? He 65% of his passes. They're bringing 17 starters back on a young team. I guess would be the case for them, but those 17 starters were a part of a team that was -157.8 yards per game in Pac-12 play.
McKee might be the first quarterback off the board next year, but at the same time, like this team just does not have they're one of these things. College football has changed a lot in the past couple of years. They can't bring in transfers. They had one transfer, so they are getting depleted by transfers leaving them. And they can't bring in any because of the academics.
Well, and I was hearing shout out to another show, but Bud Elliott was highlighting that because so these players can't get into grad school at Stanford, they have to leave for that extra year of eligibility, and so they end up they kind of lose out on some of those vets. I mean, I think Tanner McKee, no relation to Ryan Rich Fat Baby McKee. Maybe there is. I think you also have this kind of element of like, when does Shaw's seat become hot?
I think he's okay for a couple of years, but
at some point, like this feels stale. And I know we can keep saying, well, the schedule is really hard. The schedule is really hard, but it seems stale. He's good on TV. He's got to start thinking like, man, do I really want to like leave on a real sour note? He crushes the draft every year. So I wonder like if things are going poorly midway through the season and he looks at his schedule, he's like, shit, we still have at UCLA, at Utah, at Cal, and BYU. Oh, and Washington State's the other game. Well, I think this is like to me, Arizona. I don't know. I guess Stanford's going to maybe have the worst schedule in the conference.
Look what Stanford gets from the South. They get UCLA, USC, Utah, and Arizona State. Those are the odds-on top 4 teams projection wise in the South.
They have at Notre Dame and BYU as their non-conference, other than Colgate. It's just not. They're not smart out there in Stanford, Sean.
Yeah, when it comes to engineering, they're smart, but not when it comes to planning out a schedule. You can get 5 wins. 5 and 7 feels crazy.
Architecture was
and then they're architecting pussies.
Sean,
pussies who want to leave football and go backpacking through through Europe. Andrew Luck. I just stayed a moment to step away from the game. Please don't boo me at this preseason.
Colby, you have a new mission. Get Andrew Luck on the podcast. All right, California +110.
Sorry, we can't have him on. The girl in the Birkenstocks is using the community phone.
Cal, speaking of community phone, Cal, the hippies
There's
of Berkeley.
more to life than football. Yeah, maybe your life. Loser.
How did Andrew Luck not end up at Berkeley? He seems like more of a Berkeley dude.
I like drawing buildings.
Oh shit! 5.5 +110 to the over, -125 to the under, 60-1 to win the conference, 500-1 to win the Natty. Oh, why are they offering national championship odds for Cal? That's not necessary.
It's right up there with Deshaun Watson MVP or Deshaun Watson most improved.
Deshaun Watson,
he's going to win the MVP in 6 games.
Comeback player of the year.
Media's going to rally around him. We were wrong. He had 5 good games.
He was right to never admit that he did anything wrong. All right,
Colby, break it down. Jack Plummer,
Oh, I think
son of Jake Plummer, right? Or no?
sure.
Nephew.
Snake Plumber, the real Snake Plumber, the fucking WWF guy. Look. Anyway.
Oh wow.
This team is gonna hit the over. And
Really?
Yeah. Justin Wilcox surprisingly turned down Oregon, his alma mater, to stay at Cal. He's a Chris Peterson
Fucking stupid.
disciple. I think he might have this program heading in the right. He obviously must feel strong about the program. If you're turning down his alma mater and Oregon
or
money,
you're stupid.
Cal does fit that profile. He lost a bunch of close games early, then turned it on the second half of the season. 4-2, also good. Plus 30 yards per game in Pac-12 play. They bring back. You mentioned Sermon, Colby, leading tackler, linebacker.
I did not. They also have a stud D end that was out for the year last year. They also have UC Davis, who, watch out, they did beat an FBS last year, but UC Davis is an FCS. They also have UNLV. Those are 2 wins that you can get, and also they have Arizona, Colorado on the schedule. And remember, they have that great Stanford rivalry where that band member got absolutely fucking destroyed in the end zone.
Colby's favorite sporting moment.
The best moment in football history, if you ask me. And I also think they might be dealing UCLA a blow, because UCLA is only going to rob them out of a ton of money. They got to come to Berkeley and drop acid on
you think these
Friday,
players
November
give a
25th.
shit about that?
I think Wilcox will have them ready. I think it matters to Wilcox.
Oh.
And you got to remember the way they play Oregon and Washington every year, that they play them tough. They kind of in the Wilcox era, that's kind of a 50-50 game. Those aren't just wins for Oregon and Washington. So I'm on the over with Cal.
Kramer, let's go through the schedule with Cal.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, because Sean mentioned it. They were 0-5 in 1-score games. So you would expect a little regression there, right?
They kind of fit that profile.
But they were also really they were in the top 10 in turnover differential. So you kind of have, fighting regression.
They also had to play
candidates.
that game with all those COVID people that didn't have COVID.
I mean,
so they had to sit out like 20 fucking guys.
The argument that Cal potentially fucked their football program harder than any other football program is pretty strong case. All right, UC Davis, UNLV to start out the season out of conference. Then they get at Notre Dame.
Watch out! I'm telling you.
Are you
Notre
calling for an upset here?
Yeah, I could see it because Notre Dame's depleted at wide receiver. I'm telling you, watch
Colby's
out.
calling for a week.
Watch out, man. I could totally see that.
Oh, Colby, I like that money line. All right, Arizona on early homecoming. They had to get the Arizona homecoming. Make sure they get the win there at Washington State. Our Cougs into the bye week, October 8th. Then out of it at Colorado, the Buffaloes, Washington Huskies. Oregon at USC, at Oregon State, Stanford, UCLA. That stretch where you go Washington, well, maybe not Washington, Oregon at USC, at Oregon State. That's a tricky one. That's a tough spot to have the second of a back to back.
That's their only back to back road game, is that USC and Oregon State, which obviously is a tough spot. But then you're at home against Stanford, and at home against UCLA.
Yeah, catching USC, UCLA, and Arizona out of the South.
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't ideal.
No. The South, they got Colorado. They didn't get Utah. They got Colorado, Arizona.
I said Arizona, UCLA, USC, right?
Yeah, but also Colorado. So I actually think you did a pretty good job out of the South.
That's what I mean. It wasn't horrible. And I mean, again, we probably should double click on Colby's love of this coach. Sometimes the heart can draw Colby.
He's a fucking really good coach, dude.
Oh, I mean, again, Sean, he glossed over it. Maybe you weren't paying attention, but the dude turned down Oregon, the place he went to school that has unlimited money. Why?
Because he clearly must feel good about his roster and what he's been recruiting.
I meant to play this.
You think he's got like some sort of super team that he saw and he's like, I can't go to Oregon?
No,
or is this guy just stupid?
Oh, he also might be content at Oregon. You can get fired in a couple years.
Might just be stupid. Yeah, maybe that's true. He feels like his 6th year, he's close. Like this team could bring him to Godfather's. I mean, he did. Didn't he sign an extension?
Yeah, signed an extension with Cal.
Yeah. So, but he's comfortable.
I'm telling you, he was sought after
paid.
not only by Oregon. Like the guy has chops in the coaching world. Like people, he's sought after. He's a very good defensive coach. So the teams are always.
Do they have 6 wins though?
But do you want to buy into a coach who says, "I want less pressure. I want less expectations for my team"?
Who turns down Oregon?
I like it. I like it because
of course.
See, now we're getting to the reason Colby likes it so much. Sticking to the big guy.
No, just to me, it's like, dude, I do remember a time in college football when the coaches just didn't go for the top jobs off of money. When you told your players you were going to stay and you stayed, that happened. Believe it or not.
Now we know. We unpacked it.
Let's go Bears.
We got to the middle of the onion.
Get up there to Berkeley, drop acid with all you Bear fans.
Will they be able to score points?
Colby, if they don't hit their over, Colby's gonna have to go live in those trees for a while. The hippies. It'd be like once a day we'll put the Phil Steele guy in the bucket and Colby will like pull it up. Have you seen when they highlight those people that live in the trees?
Yeah,
but I'll take your word for it.
I don't know.
What do you mean you haven't seen that, Colby?
Colby, it's part of the culture there. I'll go over 5.5. It's close. Because it does feel like what is this team ceiling? 7 games?
I think their ceiling is the Pac-12 to play in the Pac-12 championship. Wow. Remember, it's the top 2 teams in the Pac-12.
Yeah,
it is not the divisions anymore. Yeah.
Well, I guess here's the thing. There's at least a 50-50 shot that he does have an awesome team because he turned down fucking Oregon.
Yeah. I do. I don't like it for the reason Colby likes it, where it's like, bring back standard definition. HD is killing the game.
No, but
you got to watch out for this guy.
You don't turn down a big paycheck.
Yeah.
If you have any concern that you don't have a program that's going to produce, I mean, I get it. There was probably a little leverage going on there, get the contract. But now that he's there, I mean, all right, I'll roll with it. Plus 110 to the over too. So that's fun. And Colby was pretty passionate. Although when we do lose this one, we're going to remind ourselves that when Colby loves a coach, we got to not listen to him.
Yeah. I only hit it 71%, last year. It's okay. It's okay.
Wait, was that locks or?
Yeah.
Is this what are we doing here?
Certainly wasn't the FCS show. I was on that one.
That was 2 years ago.
We're gonna be talking a little FCS soon, I think.
We will. Hey, before we get to that, let's talk a little Odds Trader. That's right, Odds Trader, your one-stop shop for everything you need: sports gambling, game stats, injury reports, projected game day weather, everything you need as a bettor to make smarter, more informed bets, and some of the best odds and promo codes from all the sports books. You can get it all in one stop. That's right, your one-stop shopping for sports gambling. You're the number one site for all your game day bets. All you got to do is go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. That's oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. Number one site for all game day bets. And Sleeper. That's right. Sleeper is the fastest growing fantasy platform. I know our Dynasty League is already up and running over on Sleeper, but now their over under game, it's so fun to play. I've been playing it a ton for the MLB slate. It's very easy. All you do is click the over under tab in your Sleeper app. First, sign up with our promo code SGP, 100% deposit match up to $100. You can win 2x all the way up to 20x the amount you put in. And again, very easy to sign up, get going for NFL fantasy season. You're going to be able to basically get down on player props in your specific fantasy matchup. It's all coming. It's all going to be awesome. Sleeper.com/SGP. Get that 100% deposit match up to $100. Sleeper.com/SGP. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Last but not least, Trade Coffee. Every day I wake up and I'm excited to be alive for the most part. Mostly because I know the night before I have a ritual. I open up the Trade Coffee. I have the whole beans. I put it in the coffee pot. It's a really awesome coffee pot. It's not that expensive, but it has a grinder built in, and I set up the alarm. So I wake up. There is whole beans have been grounded up and boiling hot water poured over it, and the aroma from that delicious Trade Coffee just makes you want to wake up and seize the day. Carpe diem. That's right. That's what I get when that first sip of delicious Trade Coffee. It goes down super smooth, super delicious because it's matched specifically to my taste. That's right. Trade gives you a coffee quiz and they match your coffee to you. So right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order, plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/SGP. It's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Get started by taking their coffee quiz at drinktrade.com/SGP and let trade find you a coffee that you'll love. Drinktrade.com/SGP for $30 off. Let's go, baby.
Sounded like you were more excited for coffee than life, Sean. Be honest. All right. Next up, Sean, it's time. The great city of Pullman, hailing from the great state of Washington. Go Cougs. Washington State. 5.5's the win total, plus 135 to the over, minus 155 to the under. 45 to 1 to win the conference. 400 to 1 to win the Natty. Always love it when an incumbent hey, you gotta finish the season because our head coach, we gotta let him go. But then they kept him. So Dickert. Dickert. I don't know. I guess that's a positive sign, right? It's not a negative.
What about?
But once again, it's
FCS's own incarnate word.
Yes.
Jerry Rice Award winner.
He is nasty, man. And you know who their OC is, right? Their OC they hired this year is Eric Morris, who was the head coach of Incarnate Word.
Yes,
so he's coming over,
and he's bringing Cameron Ward.
Yes, and their leading wide receiver, who was all second team FCS. And Eric Morris is a played with Mike Leach at Texas Tech, and coached in Pullman with Mike Leach in the early 2000 or I guess 2012 or something like that. But anyway.
And they should have a good defense. I mean, this
well, Dickert's a defensive coach. He was at North Dakota State. He was at Wyoming. You know, this guy's had. I loved the hire when Rolovich hired him. I said that was a really good hire. And then
is this not? I mean, to me, this is more of a fun sleeper pick than Cal, since they're priced exactly the same.
I think there's going to be a lot of carnage in the Pac-12 this year. So that's I wasn't saying I feel like Cal's going to be in the Pac-12 championship.
But Washington State has three things that you need, right? Like you're not an elite program, you're not an elite roster. You have a strange road trip for some teams.
Yes.
You have a quarterback and an offensive coordinator that could cause some problems, like straight up baller.
Yeah.
And you have a defense.
Yeah, no, I really think that
it's going to be tough to go to Pullman and win.
I'll say this though, I think the schedule is a little harder than Cal's.
Turnover differential was plus 11, so danger, Ryan. Warning sign for regression.
Yeah, but here's what I'll say: I think this is going to be an insanely tough place to go to. I do worry when they take to the road, but the combination of the defense and I'm honestly, we need to go back. We should be going to Pullman this year because. I want to watch this Cameron Ward kid play in person.
He's nasty.
6'3", 220.
He's nasty.
All right, listen to the schedule. They start up with their cross-border foes from Moscow, the Idaho Vandals. Then they go to the Camp Randall spot's an interesting one at Wisconsin. Then you have Colorado State, who I would assume is dog shit.
They bring in Jay Norvell though. I think they're gonna be they're gonna be able to figure some things out.
Maybe not this year. Oregon then at home, which is a positive. Cal at home, positive, since the same price.
Yeah.
At USC again, would have loved to get them a little earlier in the season, but still some volatility potential there. At Oregon State, that's a tough back-to-back situation.
Yeah.
Then you have the bye week, and then it's Utah at Stanford.
That's the upset. I see Utah taking an L up there.
Coming off the bye there. At Stanford, Arizona State, at Arizona, Washington.
Back end of the schedule's amazing.
Look, there's a portion in the middle there that's tricky.
Yeah.
And I would call out that Utah also coming off their bye week.
That doesn't matter, man. Utah struggles on the road. When they go to Corvallis, they lose.
Understand.
When they go to Pullman,
Right now, I'm just going to pencil in they're going to win their home games. So when I look at the schedule, right? So they have.
So you got them beating Oregon?
Okay.
I think they catch Oregon in a great spot.
I'm not. Yeah. I didn't mean that as like they shouldn't. They're not going to. I mean, it would be a nice win. I think
Oregon will be favored.
I'll say this: they
are getting Oregon and Utah at home, which is huge.
They win one of the games versus Oregon and Utah, and the rest that gets them to 6.
I agree.
So I'm already at an over.
So why are we even talking? Let's fucking go, man.
Give me the over.
This is a fun team to get behind.
And they have 2 winnable road games at Stanford, no home edge there.
And I already have some Washington State
at
gear.
Arizona. Again, we're getting the thing that's different here is again Pac-12, modern Pac-12. You got to play defense. and they had like, I guess maybe FCS guy, maybe he doesn't do a Cam Newton, but what if he's Cam Newton?
This dude, he's only a sophomore,
speaking.
dude.
Not last
He's
year.
only a sophomore too.
But he won
not
the
New England Patriots Cam Newton.
For those who don't know, the Jerry Rice Award is like the freshman Heisman of FCS football.
Yeah, I mean the guy. Do you want a stat line? 47 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He almost threw for 5,000 yards. So I mean, what in the FCS playoff game he threw for 460, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The guy was fire last year.
How often do you get something like that just hiding away in the grass?
No, and he could be
big.
He could be a good fit. Like this is the perfect school for him to transfer to, right?
Definitely.
Under the radar, and a lot of potential.
Like enough talent, big fan base, but not like crazy spotlight.
I mean, honestly, like that small town feel is going to make it fun. That stadium certainly is going to be an electric.
So we're all in the over, huh?
Yes,
all
give me the over.
First full agreement. No, that's the second. Okay. We agreed on the under for Stanford as well. All right. Arizona State, Herm Edwards somehow. How the fuck is Herm Edwards hanging a 6.5 here? Plus 145 to the over, minus 165 to the under. No shit. Plus 2,800 to win the conference. No one's betting that. 300 to 1 to win the national championship. Also, no one is betting that.
This number's
not
been
only
everywhere.
Not only Jaden Daniels left for LSU, they also lost 14 other starters from the team that made the Las Vegas Bowl. I mean, I guess Emory Jones. Are we high on him, Colby? What's your scouting report on him?
Well, I can tell you this. Apparently, they rejoiced the locker room did when Jaden Daniels left.
Really?
So
locker room cancer.
That is interesting to see. And Emory Jones kind of got a bad rap at Florida. I don't think he was as bad as what people thought. And
but he could be really good.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is,
Cam Ward,
they got completely destroyed in the portal. Absolutely, and a lot of it is I think they think that they're going to have NCAA sanctions, and also they think Herm Edwards might be fired. So
how do you bet how do you have this at 6.5?
Well, the line has moved all up and down. It opened at 7.5. I saw it down at 5.5. Last I saw was 6. Today 6.5. So it's bouncing all around. I don't even think Vegas has an idea there because honestly, you look at the depth chart. So many transfers went out. You don't really know who is starting anywhere, and for that reason alone, I think they're going to go under.
There's 2 wins on their. There's only 2 definite wins on their schedule.
Northern Arizona.
Watch out for the Lumberjacks.
Northern Arizona, which I've been there before.
Eastern Michigan
can confirm high school level team. At Oklahoma State, that's a tough spot.
Case Cookus, Northern Arizona, buddy.
Okay,
right.
You like Case Cookus.
Yeah.
Eastern Michigan Eagles. Sean always down for a team named the Eagles. That's probably a win. Then you have Utah coming to town. Again, you mentioned it. Utah, not the best road team, but this shouldn't be a problem.
They have had Utah's number in the desert for a long time.
All right,
now.
so upset potential. I'll put a half tick there. At USC, early in the season versus maybe they're not that good. Washington at home, bye week right in the middle of the season. At Stanford, at Colorado. UCLA.
Those are winnable though.
At
man.
Washington State.
I think they're look. If
Oregon
this goes
State
under,
at Arizona.
If this goes under, I think it's going to be 6-6.
They have to win 7 games.
They can.
Colby.
They can.
Where?
Northern Arizona.
Show me.
Eastern Michigan.
2.
Utah.
3.
I even think Washington in the desert. Dude, that's the thing. These the Pac-12 more than any Power 5 conference has this crazy weather difference, and like you have to go play in like heat. I'm telling you, it's a strange thing, but I could see, I'm going 6-6. I think it could be 7-5, but I'm going to go under.
I'll pencil in wins: Northern Arizona, Eastern Michigan, Washington. It's a stretch. They have to win some of these road games, and I'm just not. Like you said, Herm Edwards might not be. This is like when they dropped the Cleveland number at 9.5, and we said there's only one side to bet.
It wouldn't even shock me if they won and still.
Give me an under. Yeah,
I'm going under too. But
no Arizona State receiver on the roster is more than 13 catches.
That's what I mean, man. but at the same time,
no, you're saying there's a lot of unknowns.
You said over.
No, I said
no.
Yeah.
You're saying there's a ton of unknowns, which means like, it all could.
But they're talented.
Yeah,
I felt like we were arguing. You agree with me this whole time?
No, but I don't. I think they're either going to be 7-5 or 6-6.
He's playing both sides, right? We got a Benedict Dant, first of the season. College football is back.
Sean, was I not arguing with him? about why this team's gonna suck, and you're on the under.
The six.
I thought you were arguing.
I
with
think
him.
they're going to go
You
6 and 6.
son of a bitch! I said.
I'll have you know when we did this preview, the number was 6, flat 6. I was on the over.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, see,
Yeah.
Documented.
you know the king. Sure, he wants to tax our
it's
team.
easy to
He's
see
trying
a
to promote
tide turn.
trade.
There's no such thing as a hedge.
It
There's
helps
just
pay. We got to quarter some soldiers. What's the big deal?
Here's another thing: is the public is all over the under on Arizona State.
All
So
okay.
it might be.
That's
It
fair.
I'm
might
not
be
gonna
a little
lie.
too chalky.
I'm not gonna lie.
No such thing as a hedge, Colby.
Well,
Just
and you're
another
paying-
positive EV play.
You're paying for it. It's minus
Yeah, that's
165
fine.
the juice right now.
I'm not taking. They're not winning 7 games.
Yeah, all
You
right.
can put that in your book. Oregon State 6.5 plus 105 to the over, minus 115 to the under. We love our Beavers here. SGPN. They didn't do themselves any favors with the schedule, and again, I think.
Well, shout out to Easy saying the
What's going on
Benedict
here?
Dant reference got a spot filled on the bingo card. Noah, you must be close, right?
Oh, this is great.
Oh, you got to play the hits. Guys like the hits.
Jake, we'll need a bingo SGPN
yeah.
DGens only bingo board in the
Hashtag
merch store.
Legends Only.
All
We
right.
need the drinking game.
All right. So fun fact about Jonathan Smith,
Yes.
Colby. He's from Pasadena, California. Went to Glendora High School. That's all I got.
Won the Fiesta Bowl as a quarterback for
Yeah,
Oregon State.
Greatest quarterback in their history, right?
No, probably.
Greatest season.
Yeah, there you go. There you
TJ
go. Probably had that,
Hushmanzada,
yeah.
Chad Johnson. Sean, do you remember all this?
You know,
TJ Hoosman, who's your mama? Remember that commercial?
Oh, I loved it. All right, so a couple notes I have on them before we look at their schedule. Their schedule's hard, very hard, non-conference hard. Also, they're one of these teams that like shot their shot, didn't get the quarterback they might have been targeting first, which always makes me wonder, right? Like we're going to talk about UCLA later and talking about missing their shot on a quarterback and having to take the second hottest girl to prom. I think you have a similar situation here, and yeah, but it's another team that has a very unique, difficult road spot and some sort of brand identity, right?
Pretty good in conference play, plus 23 yards per game.
Non-conference is tough though.
yeah, it is tough. But I'm on the over, man, and I actually think I think this team is the one that I really could see a great path for. As far as if I think the floor is down in the Pac-12, I mean,
You think they got a shot?
I do. And if you look at the road schedule, yes, they're going to lose at Utah, right?
Well, hold on, let's talk about this. Boise State to start, winnable. At Fresno, you're going to tell me right now.
I think
Colby,
they're going to go 1-1.
Watch out for Fresno.
Yeah, they're going to go 1-1 in that.
And then
stretch.
who do they have next, Sean? Montana
State, the team that played in the FCS championship.
The Bobcats? Are you kidding me? That's a tough start.
It is.
And then you get USC and at Utah.
They're going to beat USC. They're going to beat USC.
You can't recover from 0-5.
What?
You can't recover from 0-5.
You want to bet on that?
Then at Utah,
I'll say what are they? 1-4?
What? I think they're going to be 3-2.
3-2.
Maybe
So you're
even
saying
4-1.
Fresno
you're
State.
saying they're taking down Montana State?
I do think so.
Oh my!
Chance
Wow.
Nolan is back at quarterback. They bring back. This is a run heavy team. This they have great
that's
running
like
backs.
Colby likes them.
4 of
There we
5
go.
back on the offensive line. Dude, this team is gonna be good this year. They get 9 starters back on defense.
That
Don't
is
be
helpful.
blind. Don't be blind here. You're gonna eat shit on this one if you go under. Oregon State is gonna contend for the Pac-12 championship this year.
Under.
I'm not saying they're going to go 0-5.
Hard
but
under.
7-5 is. I feel
Oregon
like that's
State
a bit
start-
much.
Look at that road schedule. First off, they only play in conference. They only play 4 road games. That right there is great because some teams get 5. At Utah, that's going to be a loss. But at Stanford, the farm, no one shows up to that.
That's fine.
At Washington, they get a bye week before.
Oh,
And then
I like the Cougs.
At Arizona State, that's not the Cougs, that's the Huskies, buddy. And then at Arizona State, Herm Edwards might not be coaching there then. It's a great spot.
Well, that's a winnable game for sure.
And then you got the Civil War in Corvallis. It's great.
Do we
schedule.
like Oregon? I mean that's the question. 'Cause I think again this is a team to win your bet. They're 7-5.
I like it.
What's the ceiling then? Because I like going through.
The ceiling for me is like 9-3, 10-2.
Wow.
Yeah, the only
I'm
like flat
not
out
in.
loss I see on the schedule is at Utah. Now, obviously, I'm not calling for them to go to 11-1, but I think they can win every other game.
They have some winnable games. New coach?
No,
Not new coach. Fourth year.
yeah.
Loser though. Loser
This
from
team,
Pasadena.
I really like this team. I think your odds wise to take a shot on them to because remember it's the top 2 teams, which that helps the Oregon State. The teams that are like in the north that would never make it before. I think it
now
helps
they have
them.
a chance. Yeah.
Under.
I'll take
Kramer's on the under 6.5. Colby, it sounds like you might lock this up.
Yeah, it is. It is, buddy.
Noah pointing out,
Sean, what are you doing?
Arizona State, they could go over 3 minutes later. Herm may not be coaching late in the season.
Yeah. All I'm saying is the way the schedule aligns. All right. You sandbag instead of a guns. The schedule aligns. Look, it's
no,
possible.
But he did take the under on Arizona State, just to be clear.
But he also thinks he's.
You're talking out of 3 sides of your mouth.
They
Colby.
could go over.
All right, Sean, you're taking the under as well. You're joining me in the under, right?
7's too high. Give me the under.
Colby's very passionate. Washington next up over 7.5 minus 135. The under plus 125. 14-1 to win the conference. 250-1 to win the national championship. I mean, these teams with the new head coaches, their win totals just default feel inflated because it's the new coach. I don't know.
Washington last year threw for more interceptions than touchdowns. That's an amazing stat. That's probably why Colby hates quarterbacks.
I mean, are you in on the transfer?
Well, Washington ran for 3.2 yards per carry and averaged fewer than 100 yards per game last season. That's really hard to do. Minus 55.6 yards per game in Pac-12 play. Offenses rushed for nearly 200 yards a game against Washington. I mean, how is this 7.5?
You can't,
because Kalen DeBauer is an incredible offensive coach, and he's coming in
with Michael Penix Jr.
And they
think he can fix it in 1 year?
Well, Penix
like
used to be with him when he was at Indiana, so
Okay.
there's familiarity there. No, I'm on the under, but I do think this offense will be a lot better.
All right,
7-5. This team's
But
going
I mean,
7-5.
I think I don't think their defense could get them to 7-5. If there was an adjusted win total, and the fact that Wynn is giving you plus 125, I really like that.
He was Fresno's coach. We're starting to we're unpacking the situation. You didn't like Michael Penix Jr. in Indiana.
Not last year, but I liked him with DeBauer.
They were one of those big programs.
Oh, you liked him before.
When Caleb DeBauer was there, that's when I was on Indiana.
The Apple Cup, we'll pop into the schedule here. The Apple Cup is in Pullman this year, so watch out for that. Again, Sean, gun to your head. How many wins did they have last year?
Washington?
Yeah,
6.
4.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't feel that.
This is a 4-win regression.
That's right. I'm trying to. I remember now that Phil Steele, they were his coach team of the year.
Surprise playoff team.
Surprise! They went
a bit outside.
However, six losses by under 10 points or less.
Well, look,
if you fix the offense, the defense has been pretty solid for Washington.
Opponents rush for nearly 200 yards a game.
Yeah, I mean they're on the field the whole game. But
That's also true. Yeah.
So
if you're turning it over all the time, you put the defense in bad spots.
It's a similar case to Washington State, right? Very similar case to Washington State in that you're kind of bringing in this like relationship quarterback coordinator fix to a team. The difference is Washington State definitely has a better defense,
but I think Washington has an easier schedule, and
you're paying 2 wins more for it. So I like that angle when it's Washington State, and and by the way, that again the Apple Cup is in Pullman. So agree to disagree. Kent State, do we like the Golden Flashes this year? Is that going to be a tough game?
No. I mean they'll move the ball, but they can't play any defense.
Does Kent State have any 8th year guys? We were talking about that before the show. any like 9th year super seniors in the MAC? Portland State, that's a win.
They don't leave Husky Stadium the first 4 games. That's what I'm saying. The schedule is actually somewhat favorable.
All right, Michigan State.
I think they could beat Michigan State.
Sure, but that's at best a coin flip. I mean, they will be underdogs at home there, right? Maybe like a 1-point favorite. Stanford. At home.
They start with 4 home games.
These are all winnable games right here. Just like they won last year, 4 games. At UCLA.
We'll be at that one.
Yes, Friday night.
There we go.
September 30th. Wow. If you're in the LA area.
So wait, it's a 7:30 local time kickoff.
Yeah.
That's kind of late, guys.
Ryan's gonna be in bed.
I'll come for the
You think they have
tailgate.
coleslaw burgers there?
I'll come for the tailgate. I won't come.
No nitrates at the tailgate, guys.
All right.
Am I allowed into the
I
stadium?
am. Yeah,
We'll have to
Colby's
check.
on the list.
We'll have
Yeah,
to
they
check
did
it.
write my name.
We
down
can leave
last
Colby
time.
in the
So
tail.
4 straight home games to start. Then they go at UCLA, which we'll be at as well. At Arizona State, maybe Herm is still around, but that's definitely a winnable game. Arizona at home, that's a winnable game. At Cal,
That's what I'm saying. There is potential for a really hot start for them, but I'm still taking the under.
Then we have the bye week. Then we have Oregon State coming to town and another winnable game at Oregon, Colorado, winnable game at Washington State. Again,
They avoid Utah and USC.
if you
That's
if you
impressive.
count all the games that I said winnable game, I think I got to 8. So
I'll take the plus odds.
their
It's closer than I thought before I
agree.
went through the
Yeah.
schedule, though.
no, I'm not taking the over. What I'm saying that's their
No,
ceiling.
I'm saying when I first heard it, I was like auto under, but then when you walk through the schedule, it's closer.
Well, they got the
It's
breaks.
closer.
They didn't
Yeah.
get Utah and USC, but yeah, I agree.
They have probably the easiest schedule in the conference, the easiest conference schedule.
Yeah.
You factor
Triple
in
under?
home road stuff, and I think the tiebreaker for me is I wasn't a fan of Michael Penix Jr. last year. Maybe I'm not remembering the days with his new head coach, but I'm going under. I realize I'm doing the same thing I did in the NFL. I'm taking a lot of unders, Sean. Taking
You're
a
a
lot
hater.
of unders.
You know, Ryan, these teams play each other, and it might lead to some wins.
In the Pac-12, if you're going to take unders on a college football conference, Pac-12 is the conference to do it.
Yeah. All right, heading into the final quadrant. Before we get to that, hola, me llamo Sean. What you don't realize is I was just speaking Spanish. That's right. For most of us, learning a second language in high school or college wasn't a high point in our academic careers. I still remember my 8th grade
Hola.
Spanish teacher getting so mad at me because I could not figure out how to roll my R's. I was like,
That's bullying nowadays.
yeah, she probably would have gotten written up. But now learning a language it's fun, it's easy, and it's Babbel. That's right. Babbel is the learning app that sold over more than 10 million subscriptions. It's easy, it's fun. Again, I already got my subscription going. It's very easy. You can tell them like, hey, I can do only 5 minutes a day. I can do 15 minutes a day. They give you a bunch of like really easy to use lessons.
You don't need to go to Tijuana Tech.
No,
You just go to Babbel.
No, don't need to go to Tijuana Tech.
Did Babbel reach out after hearing about Colby and his newlywed experiences?
Honestly, there was
See.
the fact that like when we went out on our company dinner and the fact that I know way more Spanish than Colby, I feel bad because then I get Colby in trouble.
Yeah.
Colby,
You got to get me really drunk for me to speak decent Spanish.
I'm gonna text your wife and send her this
Yeah.
link and go. Colby has no excuse because now that we're signed up with Babbel, 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Again, they even have speech recognition technology.
There's something beautiful though about me not knowing when she's cursing me out in Spanish, and I'm just
You probably don't.
You know
you probably
what I mean?
don't want to know what she's actually saying. They got it all too, like podcasts, videos, all different learning tools. Right now, you can save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/SGP. That's BABBEL.com/SGP for up to 60% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. Speaking of life, Elias. Oh man, it is. I mean, you guys already know Elias from the Elias Sports Bureau, but now the Elias Game Plan app. Got to download this. This is a must. If you're getting down on NFL, NBA, MLB, whatever it is, they got a ton of great stats and information giving you the competitive edge to win. That's right. Again, you know them from the Elias Sports Bureau, the official stats of US Pro Leagues, including the NFL. And again, they're not out trying to sell you some picks. They're just trying to give you the best information. Talking to the people over at Elias, what's really cool is there's plenty of sites that have like, AI stuff, algorithm based stuff. This is still like all their stats, information, whatever. It's still done by hand. They have a team of statisticians working their butts off, putting together in the same way that we, the content train at SGPN, we grind our asses off, putting out great original content. They're doing the same thing with these stats.
Handcrafted, Sean.
Handcrafted, artisanal stats, trends. Again,
Send that back up to management. They'll
call
love
it
that.
artisanal,
Responsibly sourced.
Again, for me, it's if you're stuck between a game, it's always great to have Elias up. Or if you're just like, oh, I'm leaning this way, you open up Elias, you see a couple good trends, couple good angles on the app, and again, really enjoy firing up Elias. I was even on my Jets plus 2.5 preseason bet, the cash for Monday Night Football. Got a couple of nuggets from the Elias Game Plan app today. So again, bet smarter, not harder. Elias Game Plan app helps make that happen. NFL right around the corner. You guys know that. Download that app. Get started today.
Sean.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I was delayed in switching the camera because I'm currently downloading the app.
Great.
Just letting you know.
All right. One conversion.
Doing my part, bro. I like stats. You know that. UCLA, we're back at it. Chip Kelly and the boys. DTR. We've given him out as a Heisman, nice little Heisman long shot there. I think at 80-1. It was maybe 100-1. 8 over -140. They're onto it. Under +125. Boy, if there's a team that is just gonna at some point in this season break a lot of people's hearts, it's this UCLA team, because they got the schedule to do it. Colby, they got the
out of conference schedule is a fucking joke.
It's an absolute fucking joke.
But you can thank Michigan for that. Where that Alabama State game is,
out.
it was supposed to be Michigan, and Michigan canceled that.
So actually, that was one of my notes because I figured we would talk about how Michigan's a bunch of pussies. New conference foe too, like real soft ass move from Michigan.
Yeah,
I thought a Michigan man was someone who was honorable, accountable, not someone who runs from a fight. You're scared of this Chip Kelly team. Chip Kelly's never had a 6-year quarterback. I know you'd say, hey, you're just dogging on a team that missed
not
their
even
shot.
Sam Bradford.
Not even Sam Bradford. Yeah, you were just dogging on a team that missed on the quarterback they actually wanted in Oregon State. And now I'm same thing happened here with Chip. But I think I love the situation for this team to start hot, have the confidence, completely at some point break our hearts. But they catch
8 is very doable, and even some places are hanging at 7.5.
They catch Utah at home.
It doesn't matter where they catch Utah. Utah has owned them.
Chip Kelly, yeah, that's a fair point. Chip Kelly has been within 3 points the last 2 years of taking down the Oregon Ducks, little revenge spot, but he's never won in Autzen as a road coach. So there is that hurdle to overcome. But even with those 2 losses, every other game is winnable. Every other game, you take those out, the other 10 are all winnable.
Zach Charbonnet, how do you pronounce it?
Charbonnet, Michigan transfer.
Nice little glass of Charbonnet.
It's French. Yeah, there you go, Berman.
I'm on the under.
Really?
What?
Yeah, they only returned 2
Get
starters.
the fuck out of here.
I feel like when we did the breaking news that UCLA was joining the pack, the Big Ten, were you not on the? You were on the under.
I was on the under because I think there's several angles here. First off, if you look at Texas and Oklahoma last year when they announced they were going to the SEC, they put a big target there. I am fading the LA schools.
Yeah, dude, this is different.
Well, they have 2 returning starters on defense, which is the least out of anyone in the
Not
Pac-12,
one coach has
right?
a mullet in this conference.
And get this, like at a conference, they're probably going to be 4-0.
Yeah.
But
no, definitely.
But they could lose to Washington. They are going to lose to Utah.
Let's walk through the schedule. Bowling Green,
Green,
Alabama State, win.
Wow.
South Alabama,
Watch
win.
out! Watch out!
Stop it.
Watch out! I'm telling you.
At
They
Colorado,
lost to Fresno last year.
at Colorado, probably a win, but that
probably
game is
4-0.
sneaky.
This could
Probably
be the
4-0.
greatest.
Washington at home. We're going to be at that game. Colby will be rooting against both teams.
This could be the greatest team Chip Kelly's ever coached.
What?
Utah.
No.
Utah. Again, they'll
They
have
could
a chance.
easily be 4-2 there. Easily, like I almost say they'll be 4-2.
Okay, let's say they're
like,
4-2. Bye week at Oregon, loss. Stanford, win. At Arizona State,
potential
win.
loss.
Stop it! You can't.
Herm Edwards isn't going to be there.
You're all over the place,
dude.
with Arizona
But you
State.
just assume that
Arizona
a game
win.
in Tempe is a win.
It's the USC game. I think this whole win total.
Arizona State fucked them up last year.
All right.
Look at that score last year. Arizona State in Pasadena.
But earlier
won
earlier we agreed this program's a shit show.
They beat them by 19 in Pasadena. You're just gonna say that's an automatic win in Tempe?
No, but we're
over 8.
We're picking wins and losses to get to a final total.
They're definitely gonna lose to Cal on Friday, November 25th in Berkeley, because that's a personal one. Give me the under.
The number is flat
8,
which is cowardly of the books. Looking at you, WynnBET. 9-1 for the conference. I didn't share this with you earlier. 180 to 1 to win the national championship. Could UCLA be in the college football playoff?
Stop it.
Could Chip Kelly?
What do they have like?
What a statement entering the Big Ten, saying, "Hey, Ohio State, hold my dick." UCLA flat 8.
What happened to you in Mexico? If you're
still
really
on Mexico
believing
time.
this,
You were doing the Babel thing earlier. I was telling we were at dinner earlier, and I kept almost saying gracias to the waitress because I was just still in Mexico time. To me the floor here is 7.
You know what you need to remember is that the Rose Bowl, the fans don't come out for UCLA. So those home environments, they're not really like it would not surprise me at all if Stanford won or Washington won or Arizona won in the Rose Bowl because
you want to talk about personal at Cal. It's personal with Colby and UCLA.
Those fans
suck. On the
you
list.
Can't even root for the fucking team.
Now it's
that place
a lot.
sucks.
We're moving over. Heisman, Sean. I'm betting conference. I'm betting national championship.
Conference at 9-1 is fun.
Oregon 8.5 -135 on the over, +120 on the under. We've got a new coach. Again, the guy Wilcox somehow turned it down, and so Dan Lanning, first time head coach.
Sounds like your IT guy.
Did you know?
Dan Lanning's coming by. He's going to take a look at my router.
He's got a couple national championship rings. Won one last year.
Bo Nix,
DC of Georgia.
Bo Nix seems like the least Oregon guy. I don't. Bo Nix is a guy who wins in like sloppy, rainy conditions, and I just don't see him in like a fancy Nike jersey. Running.
It would be raining though in Oregon.
That is the rain, yeah. But like he's Bo Nix. He's like a guy who's gonna win 16-14, not like 42-39.
I'm out on Emory Jones. I'm out on all the both SEC big time transfers.
Oregon they have a good offensive line, returning 7 starters.
That's fun.
3 net close wins. So that's not a good sign. And +9 turnover differential. So
Bo Nix is their quarterback.
Regression. I'm not a Bo Nix guy. I'm just not. Colby, are you in on this Oregon team?
No, I'm on the under. I just think they're. Can we talk about the out of conference? Getting Georgia, getting BYU, and even Eastern Washington.
At some point, I heard a note about that they could have one of the worst secondaries in the Pac-12. So yeah, I mean Georgia to start the season, they're going to get their ass pushed in. What's the
17? They're 17-point dogs.
That's it.
I'll take the Ducks +17.
Really?
Yes, but Georgia will win. Right?
This is a tough spot. I mean, first year coach to open in that kind of sense against your old team, trying to show out for daddy, and then you have Eastern Washington coming to town.
Watch out!
That's no pushover. I mean, that's a really tough spot. Think about what's happening here.
It's a massive letdown.
You're gonna get your ass kicked really hard, and then you have BYU the next week.
Yeah, I mean the BYU game is sneaky, and then even Pullman going to the desert.
Is it a hot take to say that Oregon's going to start 0-4?
Yes,
no,
of course it's a hot take.
That's not going to happen though.
That's why it's a hot take.
Yeah. Eastern Washington still lost Eric Barriere.
No, because I think if they get destroyed by Georgia, they'll get up for that Eastern Washington game. But I do think there's a world if they somehow beat Georgia, man, are they going to be looking past Eastern Washington next week? Right?
Yeah.
This is college.
So I think that
the guys are going to be exhausted from getting their dicks
here's
sucked
what I'll
for a week
say.
straight.
I'll make this an easier prediction. You're cashing this ticket. You're cashing this ticket by September 24th. Give me the under.
There's just walk through the whole schedule at Georgia, Eastern Washington at home, BYU at home. That could go either way. At Washington State, that's a tough spot. Stanford at home, they should win. At Arizona,
Stanford gives them a hard time.
Yeah, I mean,
you're out. Yeah.
UCLA at home, that is certainly a good up spot for UCLA. At Cal, okay. At Colorado,
I think they can lose at Cal. Man, Cal's got. I think Cal's won the last two.
Even Colorado, it's a back-to-back, and then Washington at home. Utah at home.
Those are
at
tough
Oregon
home
I got
State.
them like 6-6.
I got them 8-4.
They
but
can lose at least 3 games. So you're on the over. Cole.
No.
They're 8-5
Yeah.
or 8.5.
They're not even a lock to make the bowl game this year.
You're crazy. You're fucking crazy, dude. They're gonna make a bowl game. I guarantee
The Oregon
they're too
Ducks.
talented.
The Oregon Ducks under will cash by September 24th. Sean, write that down. September 24th, we'll be cashing our Oregon unders.
That's insane.
Utah,
He's been in Mexico too long, man.
8.5 is the total. Let's see. Over is -145. Unders +130. We like Utah. I mean, to me, Utah is a very, 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 very clear favorite to win this conference. +240 to win the conference. 50 to 1 to win the national championship. Sorry, Oregon was +280, 90 to 1. That's crazy. And 280 to win the conference is crazy for Oregon. Utah, if you can find won't win conference, definitely bet the shit out of that. Sorry, Utah +240 to win the conference, 50 to 1 to win the national championship. At Utah, are they not a clear best team in this conference? Colby?
No, I don't think they are.
Here we go.
And
the schedule is not easy.
well, yeah, and when they have a target on them, normally they don't. When they have had these,
They do seem like a team that succeeds.
Choke a little bit.
and
Well-
they lose Britton Covey, they lose Lloyd, the linebacker. So
Tell me
The
more.
Mormon Missile.
they
Do you
play.
like Cam Rising?
I do. I think that they're probably the best team, but I think there's not a big gap between them and the next.
Sean, who won the Pac-12 last year?
Utah.
Utah. Remember that game they played against Ohio State?
Yeah.
We're feeling good about this team going to the offseason.
Are they going to win at Florida week 1?
Yeah.
They added a Florida transfer.
You always tell me about the SEC thing.
No, that's at
I know.
Pac-12.
I know. But this is a very interesting spot where the Pac-12 could make some noise.
It's gonna be hot as
At the
shit
Swamp.
in Gainesville, dude.
Completely agree. This is the biggest game in program history. This is getting Urban Meyer back for all of his trend. This is the Urban Meyer Bowl. No, I think that they absolutely can make some noise week 1. And then who knows from there? But I to me, they're the best team in the conference by a wide. UCLA is for me if I'm projecting.
I mean, they
championship.
scored 36 points per game, and they're bringing back a lot of the guys responsible for those points. So it's hard not to project their offense to put up some points.
They play defense. They have an offense. I mean, they're the most that they have a coach we like.
And they bring in Mohamed Diabate, who led the Gators in tackles last season. You know, he's going to be amped for week 1.
But Colby's right. This is they're a classic team that's just like they tend to shit themselves.
And the number has moved some because when I did the season preview on the college football experience, it was at flat 9.
Let's come down.
And I actually leaned under, but with 8.5, give me the over.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, we'll walk through the schedule real quick, but even with at Florida being, a tough spot, and I was pulling up the number earlier.
I think they're a better team than Florida. It's just that the swamp is crazy.
It's a tough
It's
atmosphere.
gonna be hot as shit.
Utah is favored by 2 there. That's how much of a live dog they are. They're favored. Southern Utah, the Thunderbirds, week 2. Our gals are heading up to Utah week 3. I'm not worried because Utah takes care of business at home.
Yeah. Although they did lose to San Diego State last year.
So maybe they will get up for that game.
At Arizona State.
But watch Southern Utah though. If they beat Florida, Southern Utah.
No, it's not gonna happen.
What are they? The Salukis? What is their
The
name?
Thunderbirds, man.
Thunderbirds, man. I just said it. At Arizona State.
That's the loss. They never win at the desert, man. They never win.
Oregon State at home at UCLA.
Win.
That's a tough spot right there.
Dude, have you seen? I need to pull this up.
Okay,
keep talking.
USC at home. That's a game they win. Bye week at Washington State, Arizona, Stanford, at Oregon, at Colorado. Tough end of the season. Tabulating 5 conference road games.
Dude, can I give you the Chip Kelly era against Kyle Whittingham?
Let's hear it.
Last year, 44. So Utah won by 20. The year before, Utah won by 46. The year before that, Utah won by 31. Year before that, they won by 31. Year before that, they won by 7. So those are the last 5 times.
Chip will be ready.
I mean, Whittingham, his teams are too physical, man. They fuck with them, man. There's no way to me Utah loses in the Rose Bowl.
Okay. So again, they have to get to 9. Yeah. No, I mean they're the best team in the conference to me. So Do I think they could lose at UCLA? Not anymore, since Colby told me all of that. Do I think they could lose at Washington State? Absolutely. But both teams coming off the bye.
State, yeah.
Do I think they could lose at Utah? Yes, but I would rather bet on Utah.
At Oregon, you mean?
Sorry, what did I say?
You said Utah. Yeah.
Yeah. Would I rather bet on Utah being the best team and not Oregon this year? Yeah, definitely. So I'm way over on this team. What's the minus 140?
Yeah, I'm not way over on it. I think there's.
I think I'm way over.
I just think all your 50-50 games. The at Florida game, 50-50, right?
How many 50-50 games?
That's what I'm saying.
There?
That's what I'm saying. I only have like what four games. So if they can just win one, they can win one of those. So give me the over. I think they go 9-3.
They would have to lose. Let's say there's 5 coin flip games. So they're going to lose 4 out of 5 to lose us this bet. No,
they're going to go 9-3.
Sean.
Hit the over.
I'm gonna go.
Remember when Urban Meyer coached here and Alex Smith was the quarterback?
Yeah,
I was in the state of Utah, and they literally, the university hung a banner claiming the national championship. It was genius.
As they should. Twice.
Colby loves that.
Whittingham did it again. He beat Nick Saban in the Sugar Bowl.
I think it's tough, but I can't be out on Oregon, Utah, and USC. So I'm gonna go over.
Okay,
so we're all on the over, right?
Let's ask ourselves a question.
Yeah.
If this Utah team goes undefeated,
yep,
are they in the playoff?
Well, yeah,
they beat Florida.
They go undefeated. Yeah, they will be. Yeah,
if you're 12-0
and they're preseason like
5,
number 10. Yeah.
So
number 7.
Sans them shitting
whatever,
themselves is 50 to 1 a good bet.
I don't think they can go through that schedule and go undefeated.
Okay, USC. Minus 110 each way on 9.5.
Just asking.
This is the most clear under to me. Super team assemble. Super team assemble.
Completely agree.
How? All right, Sean.
I mean, they were 4-8 last year.
Sean,
I think you can. I mean, you can improve your team's wins by 5 and still go under.
Gun to your head. USC's record over the last 4 seasons.
Okay, I'm gonna say. So we're looking at 48 games.
I have a record.
Well, no, because COVID
includes 43 games.
Okay,
yeah.
43 games. I'll go 17-26.
22-21. They're
okay.
Dead. They're right down the middle. Mediocre.
Yeah.
Here's some more fun numbers. If you remove playoffs or bowl games from Lincoln Riley's resume, he's 54-4. He's won 4 conference championships in games that are non-regular season games. He's 1-6. 1-6 in playoff games or bowl games. That's not good. And so, do I think we like him because he's an ECU guy? Colby does. Do we think that we like him because he's a Mike Leach guy?
I mean, I get it. Like
they're not going to be great right away.
In Oklahoma, it was 12-2, 12-2, 12-2, 9-2, 10-2.
But now
it's funny. They still played 11 games in
similar
pandemic.
conference though. Like
shout out to the Big 12 and the SEC.
A dominatable.
They figured it out.
A dominatable conference. But
right, and I don't think you have that in the Pac-12,
and not at USC, because the mystique of USC, whatever Pete Carroll and Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart got, and Carson Palmer, whatever they got themselves into, whatever deal they made to go on that little mini run. That when's the last time USC has followed through on anything? I don't care if it's a new coach.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned
also had some sanctions, but I mean,
we mentioned it with Utah, but USC is really, how many times they're right up there with Texas, where it's like USC is back. Are they?
USC,
when has USC been back?
USC, Texas, and Miami is the triangle of suck in college football. Everyone wants so badly for these fucking programs to be good.
A bunch of rich people go there,
but all they've done is suck. And at least Texas is a public school that has Matthew McConaughey on the sideline. The other two,
all right.
Private schools.
Talking about USC has OJ Simpson, baby.
Oh, wow, scandalous, Colby Dant. All right, I don't really. We can walk through the schedule, but the handicap here is that Lincoln Riley, like the angle for me bringing up the playoff games and the bowl games, is that Lincoln Riley has done well with his one trick, and that was Big 12 football. He's not in the Big 12 anymore, Sean.
Phil Steele has them as the most improved team.
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
they landed like they're like the dream team when they landed all those players.
I mean, but that doesn't work in football. We know that in the pros.
Well, I'll say
They'll take at least a little bit to gel. Yeah, and they gave up 32 points per game, and they lost 8 starters. I mean, maybe the starters they brought in end up being better, but there's going to be zero continuity on this team, especially early.
And the defense got hit some. Yeah, the schedule. Klavikov comes in after Larry Scott, and he's like, "Okay, USC and Oregon, you're not playing back-to-back away games. Taking a page out of the SEC, and so the schedule does. They don't have back-to-back away games, but
is Caleb Williams good?
Yes, but at the same time, I do think that they put a target on their back.
He's most famous for a weird fumble play. Or
he's a good quarterback. I mean, he was a freshman last year, dude.
I understand, but now he's switching to a. What was the Justin Wilcox didn't go to Oregon because the pressure would have been more. Caleb Williams is going full on. Like, I get it, Oklahoma, college football, whatever. He's now at USC, and now it's like a national thing, and so they're expected to be great, and that's a lot. Rice at Stanford, Fresno State.
Stanford has their number.
Colby's going to tell you week 2 and week 3 to watch out.
Oh, I got them getting by Stanford, even though, but I have to hesitate because Stanford's had such success against them over the past 10 years.
Will we get a Gus Johnson Fresno State versus USC on September 17th? All right, then we have at Oregon State.
That's a loss.
That's tough.
That's a loss.
Arizona State at home, which I've been to one of those games. Arizona State will be represented well in the crowd. That's one of the few games I will side with Benedict Dant and say maybe Arizona State can win it. Washington State at home. That's a winnable game. At Utah, that's not a game they win often. Yeah. Bye week at Arizona. I could see them dropping that one.
They almost did the past couple times.
California at home, Colorado, both winnable games at home. At UCLA, I'm sorry, Chip's winning it this year.
Dude, all you need is 3 losses. It's happening.
And Notre Dame
and UCLA back to back. I mean, they could lose 2 games right there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to tell you we're going to cash this by September 24th, like we will with Oregon, but
by October 15th, you could.
Yeah, they need 3 losses. I think they probably have 2 sure losses on that first half of the schedule, and then they probably have another 2 losses on the back end of the schedule. So. Perhaps being down, maybe it'll look stupid. Lincoln Riley's a genius, but it just seems like he's done nothing anywhere but Oklahoma on the level he's going to have to do it. And it just seems odd that we're just going to pencil him in because the talent's really good.
The target, man. Last year, he was at Oklahoma. They put a target on their back. They needed a miraculous play to beat fucking Kansas. All right.
It's a double target because he's also breaking NIL. And so
he's doing everything. Man.
He's so, and it's USC. If you don't live in Los Angeles, people could give 0 fucks about USC. At least when you go to a UCLA game, you're tailgating on grass. It might not be a great crowd inside the stadium. So says Colby, who's not allowed to go visit.
USC home games are much better than UCLA home games as far as crowd.
I don't know. I think the opponent makes the atmosphere. I've been to UCLA USC games at both stadiums, and I would say, yeah, neither's a great atmosphere. Neither's a great tailgate atmosphere. But the difference is, I do think there are I think the UCLA fans are, when things get good, because they're not often good, I think they're going to come out. And I think you're going to see, whereas the USC guys are more like the Dodger fans, where they're there all the time.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're.
Dude, I was at an Arizona State game where their crowd dominated the private school pussies, as we like to call them. So yeah, under hard here, under hard. Yeah. Fade all of this.
I'm on the under too. Sean?
Let's go. Yeah,
I felt like it was arguing. We're agreeing.
Ryan's just combative.
It's fucking confusing. Locks. Are we ready for locks?
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Double locks.
Over Washington State plus 135. Under USC. No brainer.
Under.
I'll give you bonus locks of Oregon under UCLA over. Actually, no, I have to lock up Oregon after that tremendously hot take. Under Oregon 8.5.
Ryan, you gave out 5 overs. Let me type. All right. Washington State over. And then what's your second
Oregon
lock?
Under.
Oregon. Okay. Under Oregon.
And if you're not a pussy, additionally, I would take the USC under.
Yeah, I'm with you on Washington State, and they're just a fun team. to root for. Good program.
They got a weed shop with Bigfoot painted on the side.
What more do you want in a town? And then I'll go, man. Over 8 UCLA. Come on, Chip. Let's go. Colby, what do you got?
Lock is over on Oregon State in 6.5.
Ooh,
and
tremendously bad bet.
The under on Colorado on 3.5.
You like Colorado, Colby? What are you doing,
dude? They're not good. They lost everybody.
UCLA to win 10 or more games is plus 350. Sean,
are we giving out a third one? Are we doing 3?
No, 2.
Okay.
Colby or Sean says only 2.
Only 2.
But UCLA to win 10 or more games is.
What's UCLA? Oh, Easy gave that plus 350.
Oregon State to win 10 plus 30 to 1.
I'm going to give out UCLA plus 900 for the conference. Love that price. Ryan, do you want to throw out one conference play?
I mean, I think it's crazy. Utah's plus 240. I would say 100% that would be my bet. But if you were asking me for a long shot that wasn't UCLA, hashtag go Cougs 45 to 1.
I like it. I like it, buddy.
I mean, they're bringing again, Jerry Rice award winner. Best freshman in all
Colby?
FCS.
I mean, I'll go with the Beavers. I think they have a schedule that aligns well for them to get there. If you can get there, then anything can happen.
Oregon State 25 to 1.
This bet. What do you like more? Oregon State 25 to 1 to win the conference, or Oregon State to
probably
win 10
the
plus?
10. I probably like the 10 more. Yeah,
because Easy is showing in the YouTube
10?
chat.
Well, but could you get to the conference championship game with 9 wins?
Yes, but can you beat Utah in the conference championship game?
Good point.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The Cougs to win 10 plus is 40 to 1, Sean. Let's go. Oh my God. I mean, what the Utah UCLA is probably the championship game, and Utah destroys them
twice in one season.
It's a fitting way for the Pac-12 to end their season. Have back-to-back blowouts.
Have the team from the Mountain West, UCLA's 10 years ago.
UCLA's running the table, bro.
Let's go, Chip. Come on, you got it.
Right.
Thank you as always for tuning in to the Sports Gambling Podcast. Check out the college football experience, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFB. 131 team previews. Toss us a nice rating review, screenshot it, open up the app and hit the contest tab to submit for your chance to win a $50 gift card every Monday, aka Merch Monday. And while you're there, also sign up for our free NFL Survivor contest. $500 cold hard cash up for grabs, and a $250 gift card to the SGPN merch store.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He is Ryan.
Go Cougs.
Kramer, let it ride.
It's easy to see